Get ready to witness the most mind-boggling and wallet-draining moments in NBA history. That's right, we're about to embark on a wild ride through the world of the craziest NBA fines ever handed down. We're going to spill the tea on the most outrageous penalties, from superstars misbehaving to team owners going off the rails. So buckle up, because you're about to witness all of basketball's insane financial free throws. Let's go. The Portland Trail Blazers know how to make headlines. Unfortunately, this time it's not for their skills on the court. In a shocking turn of events, the Blazers found themselves in hot water in 1984 when they were slapped with a whopping $250,000 fine, about $750K in today's dollars. But what could they have done to deserve such a hefty punishment? Well, it turns out that the Blazers were caught red-handed contacting none other than the young and talented Hakeem Olajuwon and Patrick Ewing, who also happen to still be studying at Georgetown University. The allure of fresh talent must have been too much for the Blazers to resist. But it gets even juicier, because Vice President Harry Glickman tried to save face, claiming that, he had no idea they were breaking any rules. And while the Blazers may have pleaded ignorance, the NBA wasn't buying it. They swiftly dropped the hammer and issued that massive fine, sending shockwaves throughout the basketball world. Whew, talk about an expensive lesson. Fast forward to 2012, and we have another jaw-dropping fine story on our hands. This time, the mighty San Antonio Spurs are on the receiving end of the league's wrath. Head coach Greg Popovich, mastermind behind the Spurs' success, decided he was going to rest his star players for one game, right? No big deal. Not so much. During a highly anticipated showdown between the Spurs and LeBron James's Miami Heat, two basketball powerhouses ready to battle it out on court, the hype is real, and then Popovich drops the bombshell that he's going to bench his star players? This sends absolute shockwaves throughout the league and the media, and the NBA is not amused, to put it mildly. They see it as a disservice to the league and kind of hurting the NBA product. I mean, you got all these fans, aka customers, eagerly waiting for this epic clash, and then you're going to go and bench your best players? Nah. And so, in a move that had jaws dropping and tongues wagging, the league decided to deliver a swift blow to the Spurs' coffers, slapping them with a $250,000 fine. That has to hurt, both financially and in terms of their reputation. But, don't feel too bad for the Spurs. Karma has a funny way of working, and they got their chances at redemption in the 2013 and 14 NBA Finals against none other than the Miami Heat. Latrell Sprewell, $250K. In 2002, the New York Knicks' court drama heated up hotter than one of those NBA Jam fireball slam dunks when star player Latrell Sprewell found himself in a little hot water with the team after a sneaky little slip-up cost him a hefty fine of just $500,000. During the offseason, the Daredevil guard took a little tumble on his luxurious yacht, shattering his hand. But instead of playing it by the book and reporting the injury like a good team player, Sprewell decided to keep it under wraps, like a tightly guarded secret. Problem is, it didn't stay a secret for very long, and the Knicks management did not take kindly to this hidden handicap and swiftly handed down the verdict: a monstrous fine and a 6-week absence from the court. Talk about a slippery situation. How about that fine given to Damon Stoudemire for $250,000? It's a puff-pass case that left the Portland Trail Blazers' Damon Stoudemire passing the blunt of responsibility to his bank account. This talented guard caught himself in a haze of controversy when he was arrested not once, not twice, but 3 times for marijuana possession in 2003. The league couldn't stand the smoky atmosphere surrounding Stoudemire's off-court escapades and slapped him with a mammoth $250,000 fine. But that's not all, folks. The Trailblazers couldn't let their star man off the hook so quickly. They suspended him from the team, giving him an involuntary timeout to rethink his choices. They even went the extra mile, suggesting that he seek professional help. Looks like it's time for Stoudemire to put down his bong and pick up the pieces of his reputation. And now we come to Vladimir Radmanovich. $500,000. In the history of outstanding fines, Vladimir Radmanovich of the LA Lakers takes the crown with a dazzling $500,000 smackaroos. But what did this towering titan do to warrant such a staggering penalty? Radmanovich, known for his larger-than-life presence on the court, decided to push the boundaries of his athletic prowess and hit the slopes for some high-flying action on a snowboard. Now, this might not seem like a big deal, but the NBA has strict rules against players engaging in extreme sports that put their health at risk. And did Radmanovich pay the price. Not only did he have to cough up $500,000, but he also separated his shoulder during the wild adventure. So, it looks like this Lakers star found himself on thin ice, both figuratively and literally. All right, let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks courtside showman and billionaire extraordinaire Mark Cuban, a man who knows how to make headlines and drain his wallet at the same time. This flamboyant owner has been slapped with multiple NBA fines throughout his career, but one incident stands out as the big moneymaker. In 2002, Cuban let loose a verbal firestorm, blasting NBA executives and officials for what he claimed were horrendous calls against the Mavericks. And his criticisms hit harder than a Shaq slam dunk, but it also hit his bank account. Unamused by Cuban's outburst, the league dropped the hammer and fined the fiery billionaire a staggering $500,000. That's enough to buy a fleet of luxury sports cars or a private island for those keeping score. But wait, folks, that's not the end of the Cuban penalty saga. In 2018, during a podcast episode, the outspoken Mavericks owner spilled the beans about having dinner with some players and casually suggesting that they tank. The NBA bigwigs were not amused. They saw this as a damaging public statement that tarnished the league's reputation. As a punishment for his loose lips, Cuban was handed a massive fine of $600,000. Guess he's gonna have to start tightening those purse strings or his lips next time. All right, let's rewind to one of the most explosive and costly showdowns in NBA history. It was December 16th, 2006, when the New York Knicks clashed with the Denver Nuggets at the iconic Madison Square Garden. And the game started off innocently, but things quickly became a full-blown on-court battle royale. It all began with a bone-crushing foul on J.R. Smith during a fast break, triggering a flurry of fists and flying bodies, and the chaos reached such epic proportions that it was dubbed the Malice at the Palace Light. The NBA obviously had to lay down the law, and they delivered a knockout punch. Both teams were fined a whopping $500,000 each, $1 million total. It was an expensive reminder that throwing punches instead of jump shots is a surefire way to drain your team's finances. Let's just hope they invested in some extra security after that wild night. And then we have the infamous Donald Sterling, who found himself in a whirlwind of scandal that shook the NBA to its core. In 2014, Sterling, the former owner of the LA Lakers, was hit with a record-breaking $2.5 million fine and had his authority stripped away like a slam dunk rejection. And what did Sterling do to warrant such a hefty punishment, you ask? Let's just say he didn't exactly have a way with words. During a not-so-private phone conversation with his mistress, Sterling let loose a barrage of racist remarks that completely shocked the league and fans alike. The NBA wasn't playing games when it came to taking a stand against this bigotry, and they hit Sterling where it hurt the most, his wallet. His reign as the Lakers owner dribbled away in a storm of controversy and cash. Speaking of controversy, let's talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves and their shenanigans back in 2000. This franchise went all out in its pursuit of top-tier talent, but it took a slight detour straight into the land of rule-breaking. See, the NBA, they got a salary cap to keep the playing field level and prevent the wealthy teams from just splurging on all the best players like they're shopping in the basketball aisle at the supermarket. However, the Timberwolves bypassed those rules and engaged in a little sneaky under-the-table negotiations when they brought in the talented Joe Smith by offering him a contract that was way below his market value, promising a future mega deal. It was a move that had the league's watchdogs barking, and when they caught wind of the shady dealings, they unleashed the harshest financial blow in NBA history. A colossal $3.5 million. Seems like the Timberwolves learned the hard way that cutting corners can come with a staggering price tag. The NBA never ceases to amaze us with all its drama and twists and turns, from illicit contacts with college stars to controversial resting decisions. These teams do know how to entertain us, at least, on and off the court. That's it for this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.